These are the streets of Phnom Penh in Cambodia. You can see the red lights of the brothels. And inside these brothels, very often, are children. We tend to think of the sex industry in Southeast Asia only in terms of its consumers. Predatory foreign men, sex tourists, faded pop stars. But the women and girls who are forced to serve this clientele are unknown to us, a shamed and nameless mass. In Southeast Asia alone, UNICEF says that 1 million children are involved in the commercial sex trade. This is Kampong Cham province, 3 hours drive from Phnom Penh. Here, in isolation and relative privacy, there is a shelter dedicated to the care and rehabilitation of children who have been liberated from the sex industry. Darlene is 17 years old. She's been living at the center for 4 years and was sold to a brothel when she was just 12. It's only now, after substantial amounts of therapy, that she feels able to tell publicly her story.
Before I went to the brothel, I was living at home with my family. My mother had died, and my father had become very angry. He used to beat me. Eventually, I couldn't take any more, so I left and went to live with my grandfather. But then one day, a woman came to me and persuaded me to go and work in a clothing factory. I trusted her and went with her to Kampong Cham province. But when we got there, she sold me to a brothel. The brothel owner then took me to Phnom Penh, where I was sold again. I had no idea it was another brothel until I overheard 2 pimps bargaining. One of them mentioned a price for me. It was $150. My heart sank. I began to wonder where the hell I'd ended up.
This is the brothel where Darlene lived and worked in Phnom Penh. It was filmed on the day of her rescue by an aid agency.
I was 12 when I was first taken to the brothel. Right from the start, on my arrival, I felt uneasy. The place gave me the creeps. At first, I didn't really have anything much to do, just help out with the cooking for the brothel owners. But then one evening, a group of men came into my room. I asked them what they wanted, and they told me to go out and receive a client. I said, "What am I supposed to do?" So they told me, "Don't worry, you'll know what to do. And if you don't know, you'll soon learn." I said, I was sorry, but I came here to work in a clothing factory, not to do this kind of work. Then they started to drag me out of the room. I began shouting and calling for help. They said, "There's no point in screaming. No one's going to help you." They put a gun to my head. I begged them not to kill me. And then another group of men came in. They had electric cables with them. I started to cry and scream, but nobody came. I remember them saying, "Nobody will dare help you now." I realized it was hopeless. I swore at them and told them they'd all die in hell. But they just told me to shut up and keep quiet, or I'd get the same treatment over again. I just remember crying. Then they left me in my room and starved me until I agreed to go with clients. So during the days, I was kept locked in a cage beneath the brothel. They only brought me food if I went with a client, and I was only allowed out when a client came.
The aid agency responsible for Darlene's release and subsequent rehabilitation is run by Somali Mam, a former child sex worker herself. She regularly visits the shelter in Kompong Cham province. It's home to up to 60 children at a time, some of whom are the sons and daughters of sex workers. The great majority, like Darlene, have been forced to work as sex slaves. Many have been brutalized and are infected with HIV or other sexually transmitted diseases. All have been severely traumatized.
100% of the victims, when they arrive in the shelter, they don't want to stay because they didn't know us. They are destroyed psychologically. They are completely destroyed. So my own is like try to convince her, try to explain her. You know, if one stay with us, I'm so, oh my God, right now I can help one.
The girls' trust in the world has been irrevocably shattered. Often given away by their own mothers, they have no reason to believe in anything or anyone. So uncertain are they of the world that they live in that 1 in 10 of them will turn their backs on this shelter and return to the thing they know best, the brutalizing world of the brothels.
In the brothel, they have just body, not life anymore. When they first sold the virginity, the first rape, they are finished already. They think in their heart, just body exists. But the life they kill already. They kill their life already. They don't have life.
In a country ravaged by HIV/AIDS, virginity is a prized commodity. It's also thought to bring good luck and good health to a Cambodian man to sleep with a virgin. It's not uncommon for some of the youngest girls to have their hymen restitched so that they can again and again be sold as virgins.
They are so young, right? And you know, you saw them, they are so happy and then smile with you. But when you listen their story, it's horrible. You know, they Sreys, the young girl who don't have hair. She has HIV/AIDS and she has pneumonia. She going to die. You know, when I'm here, I'm sometimes so upset. I'm happy too, but also upset too. This one. Mấy cái bà chứ. Chưa gì chạy. Chưa khả năng chứ. Hả? Cái ti vô cái chạy.